everybody, it's Ryan. We're going to go over Snooze by SZA to talk a lot about different jazz voicings that you can use to replace your bar chords, how we can do some stylistic things that are characteristic within different R&B songs using those jazz chords, how we're going to add percussive elements to guitar while we play, and maybe we're going to try playing a lick while playing and singing at the same time. So I'm not an R&B singer, but I am learning and doing the best that I can. These are some of the things that I typically do whenever I play with R&B singers in town. I can't lose when I'm with you. How can I snooze and miss the moment? You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. I can't lose when I'm with you. I can't just snooze and miss the moment. You just too important. Nobody do body like you do. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, sorry about that. I'm not SZA, but I did want to show you these really nice chord voicings and kind of just how we can add some R&B spice and flair to these songs. So first, what we're going to go over is different jazz chords that are movable shapes, and we're going to learn two fifth string jazz chord voicings. So to start, we're going to put our ring finger on the fifth fret of the A string, pointer on the third fret of the D, pinky on the fifth fret of the G, and then pointer is barring, so that way we can also get the third fret on the B string here. But what's really great about this voicing is that this bar is actually optional, so you can actually kind of be on the pad of this finger right here and only press down on this string, so that way all the other strings are muted. And you're muting the low E string by lightly touching it with the tip of your ring finger by being on the pad of your ring finger. So this is our first movable shape. This is a minor 7 voicing. So we have the root, the third, and the seventh. And this is a great replacement for your minor bar chords. For instance, I will very rarely play a C sharp minor bar chord. Instead, most of the time I'll play this because it's got the meat and potatoes of the chord, and it doesn't really sound that much different adding the minor seventh in there. So anyway, going back to this chord, let's play one string at a time and see if we can get those strings to ring out and the strings muted. And again, if you want that bar in there, it sounds really nice, but you don't have to have it. Then what we're going to do is take this shape and we're going to freeze our fingers and slide up 2 frets. And we're going to do the same thing, just check and make sure that the strings that are ringing out, and the strings that are muted are muted. So now this is an E minor 7 chord. And the very last chord that we're going to go over today is the major 7 shape. So this pinky is going to be kind of like our guide pinky. And what it's going to do is slide from this 7th fret and slide up to the 9th fret instead. Then you're going to put your middle finger on the 8th fret of the A string, and then your first finger is going to be on the 7th fret of the D string. And we're still muting all the other strings. And so this is a really good shape to substitute out a 4 chord in particular. I don't always like the way that a 1 chord sounds as a major 7 voicing, but I do like the way that the 4 chord sounds. So this can substitute any 4 chord that you need that's a bar chord. So in particular, this is an F major 7. Now, to spice up this chord a little bit more, what you're going to do is take this ring finger and you're going to put it on the 8th fret of the B string right here. And so this is a very common chord voicing that's used in a lot of different R&B tunes. And this is a major 9 shape. And anytime you add the 9th to the chord, it sounds beautiful. So that's a beautiful chord voicing that you can use for major chords, except for the dominant one. And then what you can do is you can bar with the first finger like we did before and lift off the pinky. And now you have what's called a 6-9 chord. So it's got the 6 in there, it's got the 9th in there. So we would call this like an F6-9. And it's a beautiful chord. You can also think of it as like a fancy D minor in first inversion. So we have this chord shape right here. Let's go back to that D minor. Then we're going to slide up 2 frets. We're going to use the pinky as the guide finger to slide up 2 frets and then go to our major 7 voicing. And then you can be fancier with it by adding the ring finger or by lifting off the pinky and putting down the bar. So those are the 3 different chords that we're going to go over in this video. And so we're going to get the strumming and practice switching between them in the practice video. In particular, when we're looking at the strum pattern, it doesn't really matter too much what the strum pattern is. You don't have to play exactly what's written on the page. The most important thing is that you get a good accent on beats 2 and 4. And then you also have the push right here where you're landing on this F major 7 on the and a 4. So anyway, we're going to practice those different chord voicings in the practice video. And so I'll see you over there.